When it comes to us and how do we fill the position, yes, we'll look to add another corner. Whether it's a veteran or a younger player, whoever it may be, we'll look to add a guy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of TheLead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. Today, we're going to be getting into the Ronald Darby retirement, surprise retirement. According to Aaron Wilson, it was a surprise to this Texans organization, but they do have an opportunity to add themselves a free agent corner, something that DeMeco Ryans did mention. You can find that clip right here, or you could also hear it in the intro again, because he did mention that the Texans could be eyeing a veteran cornerback or probably just going to stay in-house. So hear my opinion on why I think the Houston Texans are not going to be adding a free agent corner unless it's a veteran. And I'll have to dig deep into who specifically maybe has ties with DeMeco Ryans and whatnot. But ultimately, I just don't see the Houston Texans making that move. Y'all let me know, of course, down in the comments whether or not you agree or disagree on my take. Ronald Darby retiring, it ain't the end of the world. Look, he's been on 4 different teams in the last 4 years. Initially, I didn't mind the signing. I'm looking at a veteran corner that can come in here and know the scheme, learn the scheme fast, and get all the other young corners acclimated, experience, and there's a lot of good intangibles there when it came to Ronald Darby. But again, it shouldn't be anything of panic or anything for the secondary. You still have Derek Stingley, you still have Kamari Lassiter, and in terms of depth, you have a load of other talent in there. You drafted Jalen Smith out of USC. Yes, he predominantly plays more of a slot corner role, but he's also there. They just recently re-signed Miles Bryant, who had some spot games here for you here and there. Was okay. He was solid. He was decent. And after that, then, you got some randoms thrown in there. And the Houston Texans, to me, could use some more depth in the outside corner position. But Ronald Darby was going to be playing into that third slot corner role. And that right now is being taken by Jalen Petrie, who is also the nickel star role, linebacker hybrid kind of guy. But he's going to be predominantly taking on that slot corner role. And then you have Jalen Smith and Miles Bryant. The Houston Texans have depth. And even with this happening, it doesn't trigger anything, even though DeMeco Ryans did mention about the Texans possibly adding a free agent corner. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these NFL free agents right away. I know a lot of fans are looking at Stephon Gilmore, veteran cornerback, been there, done that. I believe he was a defensive player of the year at one point. Those days are no longer there for Stephon Gilmore. Not to say he can't play at a good level anymore. I still think he has maybe something left in the tank, but how much is he going to want to come here for the Houston Texans to not start? That's a big thing, because he's not going to be a starter here. You have Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter. He's good outside depth, though. That is something that you would want to be looking at. Maybe James Bradbury from the New York Giants. I'm not very sold on that. He's a little old in the tooth. I think he's 31, 32 years old. Rizul Douglas is out there as well. You have a former Texan in Shaq Griffin. Texans and Shaq Griffin, there's a relationship there. He was with the team 2 years ago. Who knows if there's a reunion in works? Other than that, Asante Samuel Jr. would be awesome. But 25, 26 years old, he still hasn't signed. Solid corner. Seems like there is some ongoing injury issues that are coming up on the red flags tracker when it comes to Asante Samuel in the NFL. Jack Jones, former cornerback for the Las Vegas Raiders. I have to check if he can play the outside corner, but he is 27, 28 years old. He has played the slot corner specifically. So if the Texans want to continue to stick with another slot corner to replace Ronald Darby, who was going to play the slot corner position, maybe Jack Jones is somebody there that they could take a look at. But they also have Kadar Homan available in free agency that the Texans did not bring back. Who knows? Ultimately, what we saw is the Texans are not afraid to stay in-house. they are confident with the guys they have. And why shouldn't they be? They've played games with Kadar Holman, D'Angelo Ross. Hell, we've seen Chris Boyd thrown out there. We've seen other cornerbacks thrown out there, and we're not confidently saying, yeah, they can play with them for 16 games. That's not going to be the case. A game here and there, ultimately, those guys didn't make or break your season, and they didn't lose the game for you. They had a play here or there where maybe they didn't look so hot. And again, you're talking about a Kadar Holman or a D'Angelo Ross. But the Texans are going to be confident in the guys they have. And DeMeco Ryans has shown that in the past. And we are going to see more of that again. He also highlighted maybe a rookie doing its thing. And I look at Jalen Smith again from USC. Really hard worker, seems to be somebody that could hopefully be on track to maybe making a name for himself at the cornerback position. Who knows how many snaps he does get. He screams special teams dynamo all over him. So who knows what happens. But at the end of the day, the Houston Texans in the cornerback position, I think they are just fine with sticking in-house. Maybe if they're going to pick up anybody, it is going to be a veteran corner. No one will be anybody too young. Would be more of a veteran corner that can come in here, know the scheme, learn it quickly, and then the intangibles and experience factor that all come into play. And somebody that's not going to come in here and obviously ruin the locker room or any sort of fashion or try to be a distress inside the locker room. They're not going to have that here in Houston. So the Texans and DeMeco Ryans, as much as I don't think they're going to grab themselves a free agent, despite what he said at the very beginning of this video in the little clip, I still think the Texans are going to stick with what they have currently in the secondary. Let me know down in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with my takes. How do you feel about Ronald Darby's surprise retirement? Do you think they should pick up somebody in free agency? Let me know, a person, a player, whoever, down in the comment section. You know I'll reply. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.